Coming up on this week's episode, we celebrate the new year by remembering a very special lady, as well as previewing all that 2017's big and small screens have to offer.
What's up, guys? This is Comic Confidential, the weekly podcast where we bring you all the week's comic-related news and break down the top moments from all your favorite DC and Marvel TV shows. I'm your host, Cade, and alongside me today is only Troy.
Only me.
Only you, mate.
Do you mean only me? Like,
It's only Troy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly how I meant that.
we have no Amy today because Amy is out living her life.
Pretty sure she's on the Gold Coast, like riding the Green Lantern roller coaster. Yeah, she is.
If that's actually true, that is amazing. But we'll hold down the fort, won't we?
We'll give it our bloody best shot.
We will. And let's, first off, we've got to address the fact that by the time this episode drops, it's going to be 2017, man. And
Thank God.
Thank God. That is some good news. We've got the shit of a year 2016 behind us, and we never have to think about it again. And
Ever.
until after we've done the news section, and then we'll be done.
Okay, fantastic.
Forever. Look, we will get into the news, and of course, as we've had to do a couple of times this year, unfortunately, we do have to report on the death of Carrie Fisher, which has unfortunately happened this week at the age of 60.
Too soon, mate.
Way too soon.
That's too young.
60.
Yeah.
Yeah. In this day and age, 60 is way too young. But, the world has lost an icon. This is somebody who has, as Leia, here we are like 30 or 40 years later since like the first movie originally came out, and we're still celebrating that character today. Generations upon generations of people have grown up with her, with this character, and Carrie Fisher did a lot of other things as well. She had a lot of other great, fantastic roles and a lot of little cameos in
everything,
right? Movies and TV shows and everything. It was great, but it was her role as Princess Leia that really sort of
cemented her into the pop culture world.
Yeah, but probably I would go as far as say change the world or the pop culture world.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, back then, a woman hero was unheard of.
It was.
I mean, you might have had the Wonder Woman TV show around then, but that was about it.
Yeah, I would go when you're talking on the big screen. Like, I remember when I was a kid, man. Like, I don't know how old I was when I first saw it, but I was pretty young. And I remember sort of watching it, and one of the things I took away from it was this beautiful princess and all that sort of stuff. And, that's great. But the older I got, the more that I rewatched the movies and things like that, I realized that she was so much more than just this beautiful princess on TV, or like on the big screen. She was really the first kind of female hero that we kind of had, and she paved the way for so many others for generations after that. And she proved that princesses don't always need saving.
That's exactly it, man. She was sometimes a damsel in distress. Damsel in distress. My gosh, I can't even speak.
Yeah.
But she also showed that you can also be the hero.
Oh, well,
which is bloody fantastic, and it's a really sad loss this year.
It's a massive loss, and of course, unfortunately, on top of that, there's the loss of her mother as well within the next 24 hours. Debbie Reynolds, who was also like a major star of the big and small screen. Within 24 hours, she also passed away. So it has actually been probably one of the shittier weeks that we've had to report on.
Yeah, big time.
And look, we could honestly dedicate an entire episode to Carrie Fisher's legacy. But we've got to keep the vibe fun, man.
That's it. You got to keep going forward.
You do, but she will be missed. She'll be forever missed, and she'll always have a special place in our show, that's for sure.
Indeed. Let's move on to some brighter news, and that is Stan Lee has turned 94 this week.
Stan Lee, man, he made it.
He will live forever, that bloke.
He might. 94 years young this week. What a legend, man.
He is amazing.
I know I've copped a little bit of flack.
Oh my goodness!
In my time for having some harsh words against Stan Lee's cameos in Marvel movies, but that's got nothing to do with Stan Lee. that's whoever's writing the cameos or whatever they're doing to make that happen. Stan Lee, to me, is a legend, and I'll celebrate a birthday with that guy any day.
Any day. And you know what? I think he would party hard too.
Oh, that dude would party so hard.
Crazy.
The hardest.
Happy
birthday, Stan Lee, you beautiful bastard. Moving on to some Marvel/Fox studio news. There was not a long time rumor, I won't say that. It's only something that recently came up, but The Wrap, I think it was, reported that Ryan Reynolds had actually shot some scenes in Logan with Hugh Jackman as Deadpool.
See, I never heard this.
Did you? The Wrap reported it like it was gospel.
Are you going to take their word?
No, never.
Never, ever. Like, he would not fit the tone from what we've seen in, like, the one trailer.
Well, look, James Mangold, the director, came out and he's basically said The Wrap is talking a whole bunch of shit. And then Ryan Reynolds also came out and said, look, unfortunately, as much as I'd love to see Deadpool and Wolverine together, it's not going to happen in this movie. And then Hugh Jackman also came out and said, yep, definitely not happening in this movie. So everyone can stop talking about it.
No conspiracy moment. He's in it.
Has to be.
Has to be, and they're just throwing shade.
Why would they all deny it?
Illuminati confirmed.
It is. There is no way that dude is going to be in that movie. You've seen the trailer, and we'll talk about the movie a little bit later when we get to a preview of 2017. There's no way Deadpool fits that tone.
No way. Maybe Cable's in it.
Oh man, I honestly, Cable could fit.
Cable could fit, like, as a post-credit scene.
Yeah, but I cannot see Deadpool in this movie at all. As much as we'd all love to see it happen, don't get me wrong, every single one of us wants to see that team up. It's not going to happen in this movie.
No chance. Hey, let's move on to some Rogue One news. It has passed $650 million worldwide at the box office in just 2 weeks.
2 weeks, or just less than 2 weeks, I think.
Man, do you think this is going to crack the 1B?
Oh, easy.
Yeah?
It's just a matter of how quickly will it...
When?
Yeah, exactly. This movie, man, it showed no signs of slowing down into its second week. And I think if I remember correctly, it actually had a better performing second week than The Force Awakens when that came out.
Really?
And we all know how much money that made. That made a shit ton of money.
You know what that is?
What?
I think that's the first crowd of people have gone and saw it and then told the casual fans, go see that. It's actually decent.
Yeah, I mean... The reviews, for the most part, have been like pretty stellar. There have been a few people out there that haven't necessarily liked it as much.
Mate, I never said I didn't like it. I just said it could have been better.
Yeah. But there have been a few of you out there. But look, I think you're right. I think it's word of mouth. I think people have definitely they've gotten it out there and they've said, this is definitely a movie to check out. And it fits well within the trilogy, and it works well to go back and rewatch a couple of times. It's one of those things that you can watch easily.
I don't think so, mate. I think it's a one and done type of job.
$700 million almost would tell me otherwise.
Mate, it doesn't show. That doesn't tell you how many repeat viewings.
Well, anyway, it tells me that a lot of people have paid a lot of fucking money to see that movie.
Well, you are right there.
Speaking of a lot of money, Scarlett Johansson has been named as 2016's highest grossing actor. That's big news.
Is there an asterisk with this?
There's no asterisks. So we're not talking about, just so we're clear, we're not talking about how much money she has personally made, but how much money her movies have made in 2016. She's the beneficiary of being in some major blockbusters without having necessarily a major role.
Yep.
So we're talking about things like, Captain America: Civil War, which she was a large part of, but she was a large part. She was a part of an ensemble.
She wasn't the key person.
Exactly, yeah. So there were plenty of other people in that movie that sort of focused on, and she was definitely in there, but she was by far not the most important person in Captain America, but that made a shit ton of money.
Yeah, right. And what else is she in this year?
The Jungle Book. She was the voice of a car, I want to say.
A car in
car, not a car.
Oh, right.
Car.
Right, okay.
I was kind of car? Yeah, the snake. Anyway,
the snake
there you go. From the Jungle Book, which she had about 7 lines, but that we all know that nearly made $1 billion as well. And she was also in Hail Caesar, which, from all reports, is a bit of a shit of a movie, but it did make some money. So
there you go. Bloody hell! I have to get onto that Jungle Book. I haven't seen that yet.
It's actually not bad. I kind of watched it just to watch it, just because it was another one in the line of Disney movies that nearly cracked that $1 billion.
Is the bare necessities sung in that?
Yes. It is.
I'm watching it.
Yeah.
You just sold me instantly.
Get into it. If there's two movies, like kids type movies that I can suggest you watch from 2016, it'd be Jungle Book and Zootopia.
Do not watch Finding Dory.
Okay.
It's fucking terrible.
Is it?
It was shit.
Really?
Absolutely terrible.
So
I had like a Starlight movie experience with it, something that I thought was going to be, okay, this will be pretty cool.
What is a Starlight movie
So
experience?
you're out like in the open and there's a big movie screen and you got bean bags.
When did this happen?
Mate, they do it up at Port Douglas.
Oh, okay.
Bloody fantastic.
Out at the beach? Do they do it at the beach?
No, it wasn't the beach.
Oh, okay. Because it would have been good if it was the
get-
beach and it was Finding Dory, you know what I'm saying?
You get eaten by a crocodile at the beach, mate.
Well, that's true. So, yeah, shit, eh?
Terrible.
All right,
Do
okay.
not watch it. Save yourself the time.
I will stay away from that one.
Something that you should watch, and if you haven't, bloody do it now. The Alien trailer.
Oh, yeah. Alien Covenant.
God damn, man.
The Red Band trailer.
Ridley Scott bringing it home.
Don't fuck around with that other colored band trailer, whatever that is. Blue?
Green?
Green? It's green.
Green band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't fuck around with the green band. Go straight to the red band. Man, this looks awesome. So it is technically a follow-up to Prometheus, which I know you didn't really get into.
No, not really. I didn't mind it. It's just there were so many not loopholes, but plot holes in that movie. It's just, come on, that's silly.
Yeah, I actually rewatched Prometheus for our Christmas special because there is it technically is when they wake up. It's Christmas time, so I thought, all right, I'll see how we go. But it's actually I didn't mind it the second time around, and this is a direct follow up to that, even though I think only the Michael Fassbender and Noomi Rapace will return, and it'll only be Michael Fassbender that'll return in present day. Everybody else will be in flashbacks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's kind of, if you remember Prometheus, how they kind of set off for the new planet.
Yeah.
This kind of takes place on said planet. So you've got the new ship, the Covenant, that comes, and they're basically looking for like a new world to colonize.
There you go.
Effectively, and this looks like paradise. So they come here. Obviously, they find Michael Fassbender. Obviously,
It's just the head, of course.
yeah, just that because it's Ridley Scott. But they find all of Michael Fassbender. He is all in one piece. And
Wasn't he just the head at the end of that?
he had a body as well.
Oh.
That they were separated.
I thought the body was long gone.
No. She saved both. She saved the body and then she put the head in a bag. Fact.
There you go.
Fact.
I don't know how she was strong enough to move the body, but hey, I'm not here to judge her physical strength.
That's exactly right. One thing, speaking of physical strength, because this is one thing that the Alien movies do really well, and they've done it from the start, from Alien and then Aliens and all that sort of stuff. They always have a really strong female character and the female lead. And obviously we're talking about Sigourney Weaver and Ellen Ripley, like back in the originals. And she was in the vein of like Princess Leia, but a little bit more kick-ass. It was around that late 70s that she came out in Alien and just kicked ass, man. She was like this. She was another like big on-screen kick-ass female hero.
Oh, and then she unfortunately had to do 3 and 4.
Oh, 3 and 4. We don't even. Ridley Scott doesn't even think that 3 and 4 exist.
No,
in the world.
He didn't direct those, did he?
No, I don't think he had anything to do with them. But as far as this goes, they've gone the same sort of way. It looks like they've cast Catherine Waterston, I think her name is, who was the lead female character from Fantastic Beasts.
Oh,
Yes,
There you go.
There you go.
Thought I recognized her.
Yeah, so she looks like she'll be the main antagonist for this particular movie, and obviously Prometheus had a female lead as well in Noomi Rapace. So it looks like it's headed down that way, but this looks awesome.
It looks like it's old school Alien, and it's like just back to fucking basics. It's scary.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Gory.
And gory as hell. And we don't have no like chest busters anymore. It's all backbusters.
Backbusters, son. Yeah, that looks awesome, man. Like in that first sort of, I think it's the opening scene or one of the opening scenes where they're kind of trapped in the ship. And you see the guy's back sort of split open. That is unreal. As much as splitting open of backs can be, but yeah, it looks awesome.
Looks great.
Old school violence, old school gore, directed by Ridley Scott. They still haven't quite hit classic Alien territory yet. Apparently, they're playing around with aliens called neomorphs rather than xenomorphs. So they're still going to be a little bit different.
Hopefully, they really dive into the whole how these things are a creation.
Yeah.
You know, they're a tool for death.
Well, I think they will, based on what you can sort of see. But it is the second part of a guaranteed trilogy. So There will be another after this as well.
Asterisks, depending on how much money it makes.
Look, I'm basing it on this Red Band trailer, and I know these movies can be terrible. Like, you've seen 3, you've seen 4, you've seen Alien vs. Predator, Alien vs. Predator 2 through to 20.
You just got to get Ridley Scott back on board, mate.
Yep.
Everything's good then.
Get Ridley Scott back on board, get him doing what he does best, and this movie should be awesome, man. But this trailer looks great. Check it out if you haven't already. It is on the website, our website, comicconpod.com, and it's on YouTube and stuff and whatnot. 2017. What a year it's going to be, hopefully.
Holy man, it is a big year.
It's a massive year for movies and TV. So what we decided to do is we want to have a bit of a preview of basically everything that's coming out in 2017 that we're likely to review as far as movies go. So there'll be some movies that probably don't make the list that you might be like, oh, what about this one? What about that one? But these are the ones that we've sort of earmarked to review in 2017. So we'll talk about those first. And then we're going to talk about the Netflix series and the actual other TV series that are going to come back and everything as well. And
yeah, there's a lot of couch action this year.
I'm barely going to leave that thing, let me tell you.
The only time I'm going to see you this year is for the podcast. And even then, I think we should probably Skype it so I can watch something in the background.
Yeah, we're going to need all the time we possibly can to get through this TV, especially, man.
It's going to be huge. We're going to have to like sit down and really decide what shows we're going to talk about this year, because we can't talk about 20 shows.
There will be a few that I would comfortably say will not make the list this year. And there might be a couple of surprise little sneaky ones that do make the list.
Yeah.
You don't know.
You just don't know.
But that's what we're here to kind of talk about. We're going to preview all this sort of stuff. So we're going to go through and we're going to run through first. We're going to run through all the movies that are coming out this year that we're likely to review. Then we're going to go back and just talk about a little bit about them, whether we're excited, whether we're not, all that sort of crap.
Yeah, so here's a quick rundown of the movies coming out in 2017. So in February, we have John Wick Chapter 2, Lego Batman, and then moving to March, we have Logan, Kong, Skull Island, Power Rangers, and Ghost in the Shell. Coming up in April, there's Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and the much-awaited The Fate of the Furious.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, family, come and get it. In May, it's just Alien Covenant. And June, this is going to be a good month. It's Wonder Woman, Transformers The Last Night, and the Mummy reboot.
Yep.
In July, we've got Spider-Man Homecoming and War for Planet of the Apes. That could be a big month.
That could be a massive month.
Yeah. In September, Kingsman, The Golden Circle. October, Blade Runner 2049. November, Thor Ragnarok. That seems so far away.
That seems so far away, but you want to talk about big months, man.
Oh, and also in November, we've got Justice League.
Oh, damn.
And December, it is Star Wars Episode 8, which is just going to fucking end the year on the highest note.
Oh, man. Let's before we get to the end of the year, let's go back to February. John Wick Chapter 2. What do you think?
Mate, I have to watch the first movie still, hey.
What?
I know. It's on the list.
Okay, whatever. I don't even know what's on your list.
So many things.
I don't care. But I think you need to, at least because this is only February, man. This is coming. This is very soon. You need to watch John Wick, man. That movie is awesome. Like it's an action movie, but it's a little bit more than that. But I think ultimately, it was such a sleeper of 2016. Like it was one of those movies that's kind of like, oh yeah, here's a new Keanu Reeves movie, and he's gonna like do some cool shit and all that sort of stuff. But then the movie came out, and it was like, holy shit, that was amazing. So John Wick Chapter 2 for me, like, should be awesome.
Yeah, really.
You've seen the trailer?
I've seen the trailer, so it's highly recommended.
Highly recommended.
All right, mate. I'll move it up the list a couple of notches.
All right.
It's got to try and beat Scream Queens.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, if only you were joking.
Oh, mate. If only. So we've also got Lego Batman, and I tell you what, this is going to be a fucking great movie.
Oh, I rewatched the trailer today because it kind of like so much has happened. I've kind of almost forgot about what's happening in Lego Batman. This looks unreal. This is kind of like...
Could this be the best Batman movie ever made?
I think it'll be the most fun, for sure.
Especially with Zach Galifianakis as the Joker.
Yeah. Zach Galifianakis should do a great job. Will Arnett, though, as Batman, sort of reprising his role from the Lego movie. And this is, I think, the way the Lego movie came about, I think really gives me a lot more confidence in the Lego Batman movie. Because for me, the Lego movie itself, like, it's another one of those ones that I was kind of like,
a dark horse, mate.
Yeah. Oh, I'll check it out, whatever. And then I watched it, and it's like, it was so good. Like, obviously, it had like a really great cast, and it had a great director and the writers and all that sort of stuff. I think it's different people this time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a different director. I think it's Chris McKay, who has done some awesome comedy work. But you can tell just by looking at this movie, they've got the same sort of tone. Like, it looks funny, man. This should be a whole bunch of laughs.
I just bloody love the Lego world.
Oh, in general.
Yeah, just in general, how they got the master builders and shit like that, how they just make stuff up on the fly. Awesome.
Yep.
I just want to see that his little utility belt just make stupid shit.
Oh, just the stupidest shit. It's going to be unreal. This will be one of those things that, it's definitely a kids movie that is not necessarily targeted towards kids.
Yeah.
You're going to see a lot more adults in the cinema than you're going to see kids, I reckon.
Damn straight. And Lego sales are just going to go through the roof again.
Oh, man. Well and truly. They have dead set. They are dominating the market when it comes to this sort of thing, when it comes to toys and stuff, man.
Absolutely.
Let's move on to March. March looks like it's going to be a pretty killer month itself.
Man, it's jam-packed.
First off, Logan.
Can't wait.
Can't
wait.
Look, there is, and we'll get to some, like, there are some specific questions that we have for the movies and stuff like that we'll get to at the end of this. But Logan, man, just I am basing it purely on the trailer and some of the imagery that's been released, how it's all been that sort of like that black and white tone.
It's almost got a chromatic filter over it.
Yeah, it does. And it's kind of, they're releasing things very sparingly, and then
I don't want them to release anything else. I don't want another trailer. I just want that to be it.
Well and truly. And like, you've got to look at this is Hugh Jackman's last appearance as Wolverine. This is 16 years in the making, man. This guy has been doing this role for 16 years. And then, of course, you've got Patrick Stewart, who has also been doing the role of Professor X for 16 years as well.
Crazy.
It is the end of two eras. I have some concerns because when you look at X-Men Origins Wolverine and then you look at the Wolverine, like the Wolverine was a major improvement over Origins.
Yeah.
But it still wasn't perfect, man. So I really hope, and I think James Mangold will do it, and I really hope that they send Hugh Jackman out on a high note. I got high hopes.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It has to be. It's an R-rated Wolverine story, mate.
R-rated. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
But it's R rating. It should give us the content that we want. It's got X-23, man. Like, feels galore just watching the trailer. So imagine me in a cinema. I'm going to be a mess.
Yeah, righto, Kevin Smith. Kong, Skull Island.
Yeah. This one, like...
I just see this as the prequel to Kong vs. Godzilla.
Yeah.
I don't see it as like standing. This is just like, here's a little bit of a trickle to the next one.
Yeah. It looks good. Don't get me wrong. Like,
yeah.
I think it looks good, and you've got a freaking great cast, man. You've got the Marvel cast. Don't forget, like, you've got Tom Hiddleston, you've got Brie Larson, you've got Samuel L. Jackson,
Nick Fury.
Yep, you've got all these guys that are quality actors, and then you've got this backdrop of this island and this massive gorilla. Action wise, it looks really good. I just don't know how it's going to fit into, like, with 2017 being as like jam packed as it is. I don't know where this one falls.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see where this does go, because, like I said, I see this as a feeder film.
Yeah.
So
because Kong vs. Godzilla, or whatever they've called it, I don't know what they've called it yet, if they have called it anything, that is going to be the shit.
Fuck, it's going to be unreal, man.
It's going to be awesome. But it does look good. Like, you have to admit, watching the trailer, like, it looks like the action sequences look fantastic. CGI looks good, so I'll give it a chance for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk about it?
I am really interested to see how this darker tone goes.
Yeah.
It's going to be fucking cool. And they've barely released anything for this.
Yeah, and what's the month? March, yeah, so it's fairly close.
Do you think they'll release, like, that? Surely they'll have to release one more trailer before it comes out.
I would say so, definitely.
Because they got to bait you big time.
Yeah, there's my only concern with this movie is that it's kind of like a setup to not actually be as dark as it seems.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Do you know what I mean?
It'll come, and I reckon the color palette will be a lot brighter.
Yeah.
Things are just going to be a little bit more kid friendly.
Yeah, it
because
might-
what's the rating on this? Probably.
Well, here
M?
it'd have to be. You'd assume it would be
PG?
an M. You'd assume it'd be an M based on what we've seen. Like, I think the violence is going to be. Well, from what you can see, the violence seems like it's going to be pretty in your face.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of those things. You kind of like you're looking at a movie that's trying to revolve itself around Bryan Cranston and Elizabeth Banks, the two most bankable stars in the movie.
Yep.
The rest of them are all relatively, to me at least, unknowns. Other
Newbies.
than, of course, Bill Hader. But man, I don't know. It's for me, like I've never been a major Power Rangers fan, so it doesn't really do a great deal for me. Well, we'll wait. And
We'll
see.
wait and see.
Because you don't know.
Yeah,
I could be completely fucking wrong.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So here's one that's going to be interesting is Ghost in the Shell. So there's been a lot of, I guess, talk about whitewashing in this movie.
Controversy for sure.
Yeah, and I think the only reason like they're whitewashing this is because Scarlett Johansson can hold a movie.
Well, she's just proven that she can, and she is one of Hollywood's most bankable actors at the moment.
Yeah.
So you put her in a movie, she is going to sell tickets. And you know,
Even that fucking terrible movie Lucy pulled in over $500 million.
yeah, that's exactly true.
And that just shows that she can pull anything. Come on, mate.
Yeah, moving on from my childishness. Look, the movie itself, like whitewashing aside and all that sort of stuff, I get it. You know, you're trying to salvage a $150 million budget. You need a bankable actor, whatever. I mean, we'll move on from that. The movie itself looks amazing. Like I rewatched the trailer fairly recently, and it is absolutely mind-blowing, man. The thing looks stunning. I don't know much about the source material, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm going in fresh, mate.
Yeah. Well, we had this conversation the other day, yesterday, I think, in regards to not being the most sort of avid anime watchers or anything like that. So, you know, we've got a little bit of a history with things like Dragon Ball Z and Ninja Scroll and all that sort of stuff. But when it comes to, you know, these other things like Ghost in the Shell and Akira and all that sort of stuff, people are probably flipping out right now.
You said it wrong, mate.
But they're probably just freaking out that we haven't even seen these movies, but we haven't. But even besides that, you've got Scarlett Johansson who can 100% kick ass on screen. She deserves her own solo Black Widow movie. I don't care what anybody says.
No way, mate.
She deserves her own movie, and she could carry it too.
Oh, mate, she's better as a assistant character.
No fucking way.
Yeah, mate.
I think the world would go nuts for a Black Widow. It might be too late now. Don't get me wrong. It's probably a little bit too late for a Black Widow movie now. But you had have done that 2 years ago. Pah, that would have made mad bank.
Yeah, would have pulled in at least 150 mil.
Anyway, this movie itself, if you have not seen the trailer, do yourself a favor and go out and check it out because visually it looks stunning. So I hope they do it justice because it is like within that anime world, it's precious, precious material.
That's it.
So I hope they do it justice.
What's that take us to? That's going to take us to April, and that's Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh,
God, I just want the soundtrack. I don't even care about the movie anymore.
Oh man, so everybody is so keen for this movie now. That trailer was almost perfect, a good mix of action, like comedy, all that.
And it doesn't tell you anything about the movie.
Exactly.
You're just there because those characters are freaking awesome.
Exactly. Like that's a very good point though that you bring up. Like I don't think I personally don't know much about the actual the plot or anything that's supposed to happen.
I'm purposely avoiding looking into it.
Visually, it looks great. You know the camaraderie and the sort of the interactions between the main characters will be fantastic. You know, James Gunn is a great director, and he took this nothing bunch of characters like 2 years ago and made them one of the most popular Marvel movies of all time. So I think he's probably going to outdo himself with this one.
Yeah, I think so. Now, this one, it's all about family, mate. And that's the
Family.
fate. The
Take
fate
a
of
shot.
Take a shot. The fate of the furious.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, that's about as enthusiastic as I'm going to get as well. I haven't even seen number 7, Fast 7, or whatever it is.
Well, look, do it. And like we spoke about this a couple of weeks ago or whatever, but these movies, they do what they do well. It's popcorn action. There's no real great substance to any story, but what we do have is we do have like a movie that is headlined by The Rock and Vin Diesel and Jason Statham's in it.
And all that
and
fake
Charlize
beef.
Theron and fake beef that they were trying to do to like sell the movie. All that sort of stuff, man. It'll be good for what it is.
You know what? You just talk about The Rock there, and it made me think, we haven't got this on the list, but have you seen the Baywatch trailer?
Negative.
Mate, do yourself a favor. It is actually hilarious.
Really?
Is
this movie supposed to be a comedy?
Baywatch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. It is fucking hilarious.
Really?
I think it will be the best comedy of the year.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And comedies are hard, man.
Look, I love The Rock, right? Don't get me wrong. And say The Rock will be in one of the best anything movies of the year. I will look at you sideways like you're crazy.
Yeah.
Because, he is a very, very bankable action star.
And that's about it.
Doesn't go much further than that. He does have some comedy chops, but, you've seen some of the stuff, man. It's not great. Central Intelligence was one of the worst movies of 2016. But yeah, I'll check it out. I'll check it out for you, man.
Thanks.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, cheers.
So where are we up to?
We're up to May, and that's Alien Covenant.
Oh, we spoke about that.
Spoke about this. Is there much more that really needs to be said?
No, other than the fact that I am hyped as shit for an Alien movie that sort of harkens the likeness of the earlier Alien movies.
Yeah, I am so looking forward to this movie.
Ooh,
Please do not let me down.
Please, Ridley Scott, we love you.
No, have faith in him. He always does a bloody good job with his Alien movies.
Yeah.
Let's go to June, and this is a big one. We have got Wonder Woman, our first on-screen super female superhero.
Yeah, so DC, as much as they're trying to catch up, they've beat Marvel to the punch. They have given one of their main characters her own solo movie. And let me tell you, there is no character more deserving than Wonder Woman. And from everything that we've seen so far, this movie should be, I have high hopes for this movie, man. This should be one of the best of 2017.
Oh, I just want her theme to be played all the way through the movie. Fuck, it's just amazing, man. It gets you pumped up.
Oh, man, it is definitely one of the best superhero themes that have come out. When you look at Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, you could arguably say that she stole the show in Batman vs. Superman.
Definitely.
And she was one of the best parts about it, for sure. We've got this movie, we've got this World War I setting. You've got Chris Pine as Steve Trevor, directed by Patty Jenkins. This movie should be awesome. Gal Gadot is a wonderful Wonder Woman. She's an amazing Wonder Woman. It looks fantastic. I worry because it's a DC movie. I do worry. But I have the highest of hopes that this movie over any of them will be successful.
Yeah, well, this is really going to pave the way for the DC universe.
Well and truly.
So it's really gonna be interesting to see the tone that they go with this, because we already see that the Justice League movie has got a lighter tone compared to Batman vs Superman.
Well, from what we've seen so far, yeah.
Let's see if they've kind of pulled that off in Wonder Woman, because that was already in production a long time before. Yeah, that bad reception came out.
I think the one thing that really should work for this movie is the fact that we've got Patty Jenkins and not Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
And people give Zack Snyder a lot of shit. And sometimes fair enough. He's very hit and miss with what he does. The man
He has his own vision.
Oh, he does. And he can paint a beautiful picture when he wants to. But his strength is not storytelling.
No.
Not at all. So Patty Jenkins hopefully will bring that into this movie. And when you've got a character as iconic as Wonder Woman, she deserves all the freaking justice that she gets in the world, because man, she's iconic. I've said it a couple of times today, but this is an iconic character that deserves a legendary movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's move on to something that is not as legendary, and that's going to be Transformers: The Last Night. Get your popcorn ready. That's about as exciting as that's going to get.
Yeah, Transformers: The Last Night.
I'm going to go in there, turn my brain off, get the biggest popcorn I can, and just obese out.
If I come out with anything from this movie, I just want it to be diabetes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what you'll get.
Look, this movie, man, I haven't even seen the last one. We spoke about this on the show as well fairly recently. Haven't seen Transformers 4. I don't even know what number it is. Pretty sure it's 4.
I think it's 4.
And this is 5, right?
Has to be.
Correct.
We'll run with it.
Yeah, so haven't seen that. I will definitely watch this movie.
There you go. It's a movie I'll watch. Okay, let's go to The Mummy. So this is basically going to be a lot of Tom Cruise with his shirt off, running around, and
Hey now,
and I'm not going to complain.
no one will. That sounds like every Tom Cruise movie ever made.
Yeah, exactly.
Which this looks like. So
It's going to be bankable.
It'll be bankable, man. Like, Tom Cruise can make a movie, let's be honest. He can make an action movie. The guy's 54 or something. I don't even know how old he is anymore. But he is still well and truly a bankable action star. Whether this leads into the whole Universal Monsters world that, there was talk that it might, we'll see. But that will really depend on how well this movie does.
What comes next? Frankenstein? Dracula?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Creature from the Black Lagoon. Who knows?
God, do you think that would translate pretty well to today?
Oh, I would love to see someone try, though.
It'll be it's kind of like Swamp Thing, man.
It is, but man.
Like how would he come into the DC universe today? Is that just like a ripoff of Groot or?
Yeah, I suppose. I see what you're saying, but Creature from the Black Lagoon would be fun to play around with. But
you have to make it a proper horror movie.
Yeah, for sure. You can't do none of this cheesy sort of, thing that they did back in the 20s or whenever these movies came about. But The Mummy, it looks good. It's got Russell Crowe.
Can't
It's
go
meat
wrong,
pies,
mate.
man. Meat pies.
Meat pies all day.
Plenty of meat pies.
30-odd foot of grunt.
Moving on to July.
And we've got Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. I can't even speak. That's how excited I am for it.
What did we say? Web jizz.
Web
jizz everywhere. Look, this movie looks great. We've only got the one trailer so far. I do really like the tone. A lot of people are kind of like, do we have to go so young? Do we have to go high school? Why not, man? Why not?
Get it done properly.
There are so many good stories that you can call on from that era, but not just. I'm not talking about Spider-Man stories necessarily, but just him as a teenager dealing with everyday life.
That's it.
All that sort of stuff. This movie looks amazing. I was a fan of Andrew Garfield, and I think Andrew Garfield deserved a third movie just to finish off his trilogy. But if we are going to move away from that, it looks like we've done a really good job of where we're going with it. Tom Holland looks to be probably the best version that we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Early days.
I mean, what's he had? Probably 15 minutes screen time?
Yeah, probably. But from what we've seen of him in Captain America Civil War, what we've seen in the trailer so far...
Man, that's Spider-Man from the comics.
Yeah.
Straight off the pages.
But not only that, Tom Holland is a young kid, man, and he's young and he's enthusiastic and he loves this shit. And you see some of this behind the scenes stuff.
Doing flips and
this
shit.
This is this kid, man. He's doing flips and shit. He's on a dolphin.
Yeah.
But look, he's out there. He's doing his own stunts, man. He's getting out there. He wants to be the guy in the suit doing the flips.
Yeah.
He doesn't want no stuntman and all that sort of stuff. He wants to be Spider-Man. This kid is living his dream, and I think that's going to come through on the screen. They will have a couple of characters, obviously, that'll help him transition into it. Iron Man, Tony Stark, that's my only concern with the movie, is that they focus too heavily on him.
Yeah, I think he'll be in about 1/3 of the movie.
I hope so. I hope it's not too much.
Yeah, I want him in there, but not too much.
Yeah, I don't want him to take away from Tom Holland.
I just want him to be the seasoning.
Yeah,
Just make it a little bit nicer.
the seasoning on the bucket of KFC chicken.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right.
What's next?
War of the Planet of the Apes. So this
War 4.
War 4.
For the Planet of the Apes.
This
The other,
movie.
yeah.
The prequel to this movie.
Yeah, to bring you up to speed.
Yeah.
Man, this looks awesome. You haven't seen the second movie. I strongly suggest you go out and see the second movie.
Down the list.
Yeah, exactly. You've got until July, man. You need
Yeah.
to see John Wick before you see this one. It looks awesome. The CGI in these things is absolutely unreal, man. Add in shaved head Woody Harrelson.
Yeah. I'm sold.
Yeah, I'm sold too, man. I can't wait. This is
Can't
gonna be
wait.
awesome.
Okay, let's move on to September, and that's The Kingsman, The Golden Circle.
Yeah. Now, did you see The Kingsman?
No, I haven't yet. This is also on my list, but I've heard really, really good things about it. It was like the dark horse movie.
This was the darkest horse of movies. I think when this came out, people kind of had an understanding that it was based on a comic series and all that sort of stuff, but no one really sort of knew what to expect. And then it came out, and people were essentially blown away. Like some of the action sequences in this movie, there hasn't been anything really
They
that's
make
been released.
really good juice.
Do they? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, Golden Circle Juice. Maybe that's what it is. However, when you look at, like, there hasn't been a trailer, there hasn't been anything that's come out yet that I've seen, but based on the first movie alone, this should be good. And Colin Firth is coming back, which I didn't know was possible, but apparently he is. So
There you bloody go.
there you go.
All right.
That would be more exciting for you had you seen the first movie.
Fair enough. Probably throwing out a spoiler warning there.
No. Yep.
Yep. All right, let's go to October. And the movie that you're really looking forward to is Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, one of them.
One of them.
There's so many. Blade Runner 2049, man, 30 years in the making. This movie looks like the shit.
So when the original came out, it was set in 2019, wasn't it?
Correct.
How different's the world now? Considering we're only like 2 years and a couple of days away.
2 years away. A lot's going to change, let me tell you, in the next 2 years.
Yeah, fantastic.
Hey, we've got a new president in the United States. Anything is possible. It looks awesome. It looks like it's going back to like it's borrowing from the classic, which is good.
Okay.
But putting in a young stud like Ryan Gosling to go with an old stud like Harrison Ford.
My gosh.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. But visually just looks amazing so far. Only seen a teaser. That's all we've got. We've got a brief synopsis. We kind of understand that Ryan Gosling is basically effectively what Harrison Ford was. So we'll see what happens. Are they related? Who knows? We'll find out soon enough.
Ooh.
And there's a big giant head because it's Ridley Scott.
There you bloody go.
November, man.
He's killing it, man.
Oh, Ridley Scott, man. He's going to have a massive 2017.
It's going to be massive. Let's move on to probably the biggest month. We're coming up to the pointy end of the year, and this is November. We're going to have Thor Ragnarok. This is the most anticipated Marvel movie for me this year.
Really?
Higher than Spider-Man.
Wow.
You giving me some World War Hulk action?
Oh, I guess. Like it looks from everything we've seen so far and everything we've heard, if they do it right, this is going to be awesome. A bit of a buddy road movie, like road trip.
Yeah,
movie
it's a cosmic road trip.
Cosmic
movie.
road trip with Thor and the Hulk. Anything with the Hulk in it, man, is going to be good. We know that. It looks visually from what we've seen and the artwork and all that, it looks amazing. Thor: The Dark World, though, was not great. It was okay, but it wasn't great. So I'm a little bit concerned based on that. But I think they'll really turn it around. And if they focus on this, this kind of like this buddy relationship between Thor and the Hulk, I think that'll work really well on screen. So we'll see how we go.
Hopefully, the Hulk is able to talk and act normal.
Yeah.
While still being a rage maniac.
Well, yeah, a rage maniac. We'll see. I guess we'll see soon enough. If not, there'll be a lot of Thor and Bruce Banner, which is a good dynamic in itself.
Which it is, and they'll save a lot of money on CGI.
Hell of a lot of money. But we are going to Planet Sakaar, which is awesome. Hopefully we get some Hulk having a kid action. Probably not, but we'll see what happens.
You just never know. Like, we don't know what the time frame's going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe time's different on those planets.
Who knows? Don't forget, we also have Doctor Strange will be appearing in this movie as well.
Everything just points to being fucking amazing.
Yes, as will Loki, as will Odin, as will Hela. Jeff Goldblum is in this movie, God damn it.
You can't go wrong.
So this should on paper, should be one of the best of the year.
Yeah, definitely. And another one that's going to be the best of the year is going to be Justice League.
Well, I certainly hope so.
It's going to be. I'm calling it now.
As you put your hands together and pray to the movie gods, Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm just burning some incense in here, but it's going to be 100 out of 100. Early review.
Is that you, or is that like Rotten Tomatoes?
Everyone,
100% fresh, certified fresh?
Certified.
Look, I hope so, man. I really, really hope so. I think with the involvement of Jeff Johns, with the involvement of Ben Affleck, I think they can turn it around. They have to have learnt from Batman vs. Superman and Suicide Squad. If they haven't learnt from those two movies, they will never learn, and the DC universe will be the end of fucked. Let's be honest. If they haven't picked up the mistakes from those, They will never pick up the mistakes.
Making money, they can make as many mistakes as they want.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, people will stop watching. They will stop watching. And if you've got a $250 million budget, and then if you've got a $250 million marketing budget, and you've got to make at least $500 million of money back just to break even.
Yeah.
You need to produce some good shit that people are going to want to go back and see multiple times. So they have to do it. My concern is that that they won't. But I really hope that they've got their shit together. I have high hopes for this movie. Ben Affleck, man. Ben Affleck as Batman is by far the best Batman we've had. Sorry, Christian Bale, but it's true.
It's true.
We will see the return of Henry Cavill as Superman in this movie.
Black suit with a mullet.
Yep, with a mullet, hopefully. We've got the hive of parademons. We've got Wonder Woman, obviously. We've got The Flash. We've got Cyborg. We've got Aquaman. Jason Momoa looks awesome.
Who's the seventh member?
What? It's going to be Green Lantern. Yeah, I said it. I threw it out there.
Or Martian Man.
Nah, it's not going to be Martian Man.
That's too far out.
Too far.
I feel like that is too far out for this universe.
There
and
will
we've got
be-
him on TV.
Yeah, there will be some sort of post-credit scene or something, and they will bring in Green Lantern in order to try to hype Green Lantern Corps and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Probably, most likely. So look, I think it should be awesome. We've got Steppenwolf as well. There is talk that we might even get Darkseid still.
He will have to be in it, like just in brief little parts.
Yeah.
Like he's like the commander-in-chief, mate. He needs to send some orders.
Yeah, well, look, listening to Kevin Smith, I think it was, he firmly believes that there is no way this movie can revolve around Steppenwolf as the main villain. It's not big enough for this group of people to tackle.
Yeah, not for the Justice League.
Yeah. So, we'll see what happens. We know it's all set in, within that world. Like, we've got the mother boxes, we've got Steppenwolf. Who knows? New gods. We'll see what happens. The highest of high hopes, man. Beyond any sort of dream I've ever had, I want this movie to succeed.
I just feel like you could not make this movie bad. I just feel like if you can make this movie bad, you have to leave Hollywood, mate.
Well, it runs the risk. It runs the risk of having too many characters in it that you need to get the focus on.
Yeah.
And remembering, of course, that they still have to show Ben Affleck gathering these people together. So whether that's done via flashbacks or whether that's done, early in the movie, that still has to happen. You've only got 2 hours to do this. So you have to do the flashbacks of how they get together. Then you have to have this ensemble of characters that need to come together to fight whatever they're fighting. And then you've got to have the big comeback of Superman at the end and everything as well. So the Avengers had the benefit of having these little post-credit scenes of Nick Fury running around and bringing everyone together, and the Avengers Initiative and all that sort of stuff.
Building up,
So they had that. They don't have this. We've had one movie that has shown that it probably happens.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they do. I really hope that Jeff Johns and Ben Affleck get involved. This is one of the biggest movies. That's why we've got to talk about it so much. But highly anticipated.
Cannot wait. And another huge movie. The pointy end of this next year. I'm going to be done, mate. I'm going to be absolutely done. Last movie of the year that we'll probably review will be Star Wars Episode 8.
Oh, man. This movie, if this isn't the biggest of the year, I don't know what will be, but Star Wars Episode 8, man, we get to see what happens after the massive stare-off between Luke Skywalker and Rey. What's their first words, their first interaction, all that sort of stuff.
I've seen memes that she pulls out a Subway sandwich and stuff like that.
Well, they'd probably be pretty hungry, sort of alone on that island there. That's fair.
Yeah.
But and most importantly, as we spoke about with Carrie Fisher earlier, this will be her last portrayal as Princess Leia, or General Organa in this case, in the Star Wars universe.
It's going to be... how much of her scenes do you think they've done?
All of them.
Oh, they have?
They have. But she has finished filming, or she did finish filming before she passed. However, it's whether they go back to kind of give her a send-off now, because they probably wouldn't have done that already. You would pretty much guarantee that she would have been a character in Episode 9.
Yeah.
So it's whether they go back and kind of reshoot any of those to try to give her the send-off that she deserves, which I really hope they do. And if they do it, I hope they do it well.
Or do you think they'll kind of hold off until the episode 9 and kind of just give her the CGI treatment?
I hope not, man.
I think they will.
Well, look, it's
I
in
feel
their
like
hands.
it's too soon to go back.
Well, it's in their hands, but I mean, this is a character that, like, you know, they could play it two ways. They could play episode 8 out exactly the way it's supposed to be, and then right at the end, you know, the first thing that pops up, or maybe the first thing that pops up before they even like play the movie, is in loving memory of Carrie Fisher. And then you go into episode 9 and they write in that story about what's happened. Or they do it where they reshoot some scenes and, you know, they give her a fitting sort of tribute ending, but we don't know. It's in their hands, and I hope they do a really good job with it. This movie is going to be fucking massive.
It is.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Holy crap.
We need to get a wriggle on because we have so much to talk about still, and we're running out of time. Okay, so let's get into the questions. What are you looking forward to the most out of the whole year?
And you can only pick one?
Just one.
That is so tough, man.
Just what comes to mind first?
Honestly, I will say Wonder Woman. The reasons behind that is because this will really shape how the future of the DC universe moves forward. Like, I know they're going to move forward regardless of whether there's tanks or not. This, to me, is probably the first movie that is going to be critically acclaimed as well as received well by the fans.
Yeah, fair enough. Mine's Justice League, no question, mate.
Okay.
It's just going to blow my bloody socks off. Another question, what do you think is going to be the biggest disappointment?
Easy. Transformers.
Yeah, mate. Nailed it.
It's got to be Transformers, man. What's the biggest dark horse on the list for you?
Ooh, let me just go through there.
Mine would likely be... fuck, it's tough, man.
There's so many club bangers in there, mate.
I'm going to say Ghost in the Shell. And I say that because
You're just not...
Yeah, like I just don't know enough about it.
No expectations.
So I have no expectations. But from what I've seen so far, I think it's going to exceed any that I could have had.
And who do you think is going to make the biggest bank?
Ooh, biggest bank, Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Episode 8, by far.
I reckon it might actually be close between Justice League and Star Wars.
Oh, it'll be a big battle, don't get me wrong.
Spider-Man's going to be up there too.
Man.
There's a lot of money this year going to Disney.
A shit ton of money going to Disney. Yeah, but I think you're right. It's going to come down to Justice League or Star Wars. I think Star Wars just has that reach, man. A bigger fan base.
Yeah.
So I think that'll probably be it.
Fair enough. All right, now let's move on to some TV shows. I want to start with Netflix because there's a couple of really good things that's coming out this year. So we've got Iron Fist coming out in March.
Yeah. To me, 4 months ago, I would have said, fuck yeah, cannot wait for Iron Fist. And I'm still excited. But, you know, for me, Luke Cage was one of the most hyped shows of 2016. I was so, like by myself.
Yeah.
Like I was so looking forward to this was going to be the best thing I've ever seen on TV. And it wasn't. It fell well short of my expectations. I probably had higher expectations because I'm such a Luke Cage fan. I don't know. But for me, the story labored. There were plenty of things wrong with it. That's for another time. So I look at Iron Fist and I hope they go... You know, I hope it's more Daredevil season 1 than Luke Cage season 1.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens, man.
See, that's how I feel this Iron Fist is going to be. I feel like it's just going to be the Daredevil story with another character. And that's not to say it's going to be a bad thing. I mean, that's a good formula.
Yeah.
But it's just going to be a little bit more mystical.
Yeah.
So,
look, don't get me wrong. I still have high hopes for it, and I cannot wait for this show. But, yeah, after Luke Cage, I hyped that up too much, man. I hyped it up too much. And I let myself down. And then, so, you know, I don't want to do the same thing.
No, that's fair enough. Keep it modest, mate.
Yes.
Keep it very modest. And that also has The Defenders coming out. Potentially?
Yeah, look, it is...
It's some mixed news.
Yeah, it's kind of... It is slated for a 2017 release. Nothing has been sort of released as to when.
Yeah.
But we would probably agree that it would be around the October release date, like say similar to what they did with Luke Cage and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
Especially if they're bringing in Iron Fist early in the year. They'll finish off the year with Defenders. This should be good. Again,
it should be good.
It's the
only
same
8
thing.
episodes.
Yeah, it's the same thing, but you're right. It's 8 episodes, and that's important.
It's what Luke Cage should have been, mate.
It should have, but you know, everything else has been 13 episodes.
Doesn't mean everyone has to be.
Yeah, but they wouldn't. Why would they do it? Like, why would they just go, oh, you know, Luke Cage, we don't have enough like material to do 13, so we'll do 8.
Well, when you watch the season, you could have went.
Well, they could have done. They
Yeah.
did stretch out too much. How they all come together will be fun. Who they battle should be fun. Sigourney Weaver, Elektra obviously will be playing a part and hanging overhead as well. This is probably one of my most anticipated series of the year, more so than Iron Fist itself.
Yep.
But we'll have the on-screen dynamic of Power Man and Iron Fist, which would be cool.
Hell yes. Now, talking about the Defenders, there's also the Punisher in the mix there because that was secretly filming.
Yeah. So whether that, I don't see it fitting into 2017.
No.
I don't think it'll be some sort of secret like mid-year drop. I would love it. Don't get me wrong.
I'll be over the moon.
I would be, I'd fall over with excitement. But I think it will be early 2018 for the Punisher, to be honest with you.
I feel you. And the last thing with Netflix is Stranger Things Season 2.
How could you not be excited for Stranger Things Season 2?
Oh, is it going to drop in 2017?
I believe so.
Has to. I need it. I need my fix.
It's going to be probably mid 2017, I would say. Similar to the way season 1 was. Yeah, man, I need my fix. I need my fix of those kids and the 80s. Everything. That like we spoke about it on the show, man. But that series was so good. One of the highlights of 2016.
Absolutely,
by far.
one of the best shows ever.
Yeah. So if you can't get excited for 2017 and Stranger Things season 2, check yourself for a pulse, man.
Yeah. Now let's move on to free to air /download /stream, however you get your shows.
Not by download.
Not in Australia.
Yeah. So we've got a whole bunch.
Man, this is a big list, and this is going to make our job hard in this upcoming year because we can't do everything.
We can't. As much as we'd like to, it is not physically possible.
Unless we talk about each show for 2 minutes, then it might be.
Yeah, which sounds terrible.
Does it?
I don't know. But let's look. We'll go through the list. So we've got Legion. Powerless. Inhumans is coming to TV. Obviously, the mid-season and next season return of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Same with Supergirl, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, Gotham. The Walking Dead is coming back to finalize its season. And I think the new season will start before the year's out.
Yep.
Then there's obviously Fear the Walking Dead as well. Oh, my God. And season 2 of Preacher and Riverdale.
Also known as Archie.
Yeah.
I did not see this coming.
This is interesting. I don't know, man. It's on the CW. And
It's on the CW.
Makes some good shit. I see you may have, you've missed season 4 of iZombie on that list.
I've also missed another show, but I can't remember the name of it.
Bullshit. I tried my hardest.
I saw your Facebook profile update the other day, and your status said, "Oh my God, I can't wait for Outcast season 2. It is the best show. I love it."
Yeah. That is true.
I blocked and deleted you.
Anyway, so let's go through these. Let's go through these shows. Look, we know all about Supergirl, Flash, Legends Tomorrow, Arrow.
Won't
all that
cover
sort of
them
stuff.
too much.
Excited to have them all back. They've all been renewed, I think, for their new seasons going forward, which is great. We will obviously continue to talk about those shows. A couple of things that we do need to talk about, in particular, though, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is an interesting one because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is coming back very soon. I think it's next week even.
Yeah.
And they've obviously shifted the focus completely away from Ghost Rider into the life model decoys. Interesting to read that probably one of the reasons that they did that was budgetary constraints. I would have thought that this ABC itself was a big enough studio to be able to cover that.
Maybe it's just not pulling the viewers to justify that budget.
Maybe. But then are you like...
Because you've got to remember, it also went to a really late time slot in the States.
Because of the content,
Yeah.
because of the Ghost Rider. Yeah, I get that, but that's one of the best things that's ever happened to that show, man.
Absolutely.
Like, I would hate to see that character go away.
Yeah.
Like, and they've
I
said
feel like-
that, he's not dead
No,
necessarily.
he's just gone on like a different path. And, it happens in comics all the time.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're just doing the comic approach to that. But in reality, it's budget constraints.
Yeah, look, I don't understand then that it was kind of like towards the end of the season, didn't Robbie and Mac kind of come together and say, hey,
We're going to be a team type of thing. Yeah.
So are we not going to see that at all? Like, that would be disappointing, man.
It would be. I don't think it's going to happen.
We'll see what happens, though. Like, still very much into this show. It's great. I hope, though, that they can do something with that character, whether it's on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something else.
Yep.
Because I do really enjoy that character, especially the Robbie Reyes character.
Oh.
Gabriel Luna has knocked it out the park with that thing.
He's killed it, mate.
Absolutely. And that leads us to Inhumans, which will be out towards the end of the year, with the first 2 episodes in IMAX, and then the other 8 or 6, perhaps.
No, the first 2 will get played in cinemas, but they'll also be shown on TV.
Yes, but I think it's 8 episodes in total,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. That should be awesome, man.
That's going to be unreal.
I still stand by my earlier thoughts that I would rather see a movie, but as long as they have the budget for it, and it's on ABC. ABC don't have no money. As long as they have the budget for it, it should be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first season of Peggy Carter was only 8 episodes because it had the same budget as 22.
Yeah, okay,
And it was really, really good.
excellent.
Don't know why I never went back to season 2.
Yeah.
Because it was fucking terrible.
There you go. Spoiler alert. Season 2 was terrible.
Yes.
But Inhuman should be awesome. We get to see the royal family finally. That's going to be amazing. What else have we got?
We got Legion.
Yes.
Now, I feel like this is going to be a one and done season thing.
Really?
Yeah, it is so far out. I just feel it's not going to connect with the people.
So you think it's going to alienate people outside of those familiar with the source material?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we really need to see how they do it. The director, Noah Hawley, is amazing. And he has done some great stuff on TV recently with Fargo. So, like, if anyone can do it, it's him. He's got a great sort of cast with him as well. We'll just see, though. It does seem weird. It does seem out there. We'll see if it alienates people, but we will still watch it for sure. Like, this is one of those things. It's fucking X-Men related, man, as if we're not going to.
You got to get it. You got to get it.
Yeah, so it should be awesome. It just depends on how they take it.
Yeah. Another one that I think it might be a one and done because it's treading the comedy route.
Yeah.
And that's a very slippery slope when it comes to TV.
Yep.
It's real for me. It's incredibly hard to get on board with a comedy TV show these days.
Yep.
After being burnt by How I Met Your Mother.
Wow. Yeah.
Those motherfuckers. But that is powerless.
Yeah. This to me is probably not going to make a full season.
Yeah. I think they might get 6 episodes.
Unless there's already been a full season order that I don't know about. I can't see it making it that far. From the trailer that I saw, for lack of a better word, it did not look good at all.
And it's not connected to any of the other TV shows, is it?
No, not at all.
And it's not connected to the movies?
I don't think so, but it is connected to the DC universe. So there are mentions of major characters. I believe there's like mentions of Gotham and like all that sort of stuff. So it's there. But I think the actual the characters we will see will be sort of like little sort of like B characters.
Yeah.
Oh, C, D, E, F, G characters. But we'll just have to see, man. Like I don't know how Vanessa Hudgens is with comedy. We will see. But not sold in the least bit.
And considering that we have a lot of TV shows where people are already powerless,
yeah,
I don't need to see what normal people in offices are doing.
Yeah, it's just an insurance company.
Yeah.
Look, it could be hilarious. We will see. I don't really know too much about the writing team or anything like that, but we'll find out. What else have we got? Preacher comes back. That's exciting.
That's going to be fucking cool.
Yep, that finished.
They're now heading into the comic book arc from what it looks like.
Yep, so it's finally getting that road trip treatment that it deserves. So it should be good. Haven't seen anything yet so far, but based on how it ended and where it should go, man, this is awesome. Steve Dillon's another one of those ones this year that unfortunately passed away, one of the creators of this comic. And hopefully they do that justice, and I think they will because they did a really good job in the first season, considering that they weren't really working on the proper source material.
Yeah.
And they are now.
Mate, that was a really, really good show.
Yep.
Biggest dark horse of the year for me.
Yeah, okay. Well, there you go.
For TV.
Answer your question already.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no. Well, no, that was for last year. Hey, Fear the Walking Dead's back.
I'm looking forward to it.
Are you really?
I am.
Okay.
I am. I feel like they have to learn from their past mistakes. And I feel like they're just getting too far into the infection for it to not play more of a part now.
Okay, well, we will see. The only thing that saves this show for me is 2 things. A, this is the show that incorporates the Whisperers.
Yes.
B, it joins up.
Well, potentially.
But but that's what I'm saying. That's one of the only things that'll save this show for me is if it does join up to the time frame, like the timeline of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. I couldn't give a shit, to be honest with you, but I will continue to watch it.
Fair enough. Now, one that's a little bit left field for us is Riverdale, the Archie comic story.
Yeah. Made your list, but iZombie didn't make your list. I will never know. Archie, Jughead, Betty, Veronica, Moose, we all know the characters. I don't know how they're going to play it in this show. I haven't really seen too much.
I've just seen a poster, and that's it.
CW does a good job with these shows, though. Like, if anyone can do it well, like this kind of high school setting, teen drama, comedy / apparently it's going to be pretty weird as well. Like, it's not going to be a straight-laced, straightforward,
kind of like a
Dawson's
Scooby-Doo
Creek
feel.
or something. Yeah, it's going to be something more like that. So, that could be interesting. I will definitely give it a watch. But I don't know if I will continue deep into the season.
Mate, now I have to tell you why this made the list is because of all the awesome crossovers that Archie does.
Right, okay.
Like Archie and the Predator.
Archie
and the Aliens.
Yeah, like I get it, but you think that's going to happen on this show?
Mate, they would have to at least like poke fun at it a bit.
Oh, it would be awesome if they somehow like managed to get these guys into the CW shows like Supergirl or Gotham or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Not Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., sorry, not Gotham either. The Flash or Arrow or anything like that. That would be cool. But, we'll see what happens.
You never know. It could even if they just drop the name Riverdale. Oh, we're going to Riverdale.
Yeah, they might have already done that and we just haven't picked it up.
There was actually a crossover between The Flash and iZombie. It was very minuscule. Because they were in the same network.
Yeah.
And there was a zombie on The Flash. And it went to iZombie.
Did it? Or
it was just the body.
Or did they just mention that it's like an episode of iZombie, if I remember that correctly?
No, I think the actual body showed up on it.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Either way, iZombie, that's another show that I know you haven't gotten onto yet. I 100% suggest. I know it's 3 seasons in, and that's pretty deep. It's about to be season 4. But if you have a chance, it's on Stan, man. It's all there, ready to go. If you get a chance to watch it, I damn well should watch it. It's actually a really good show.
Mate, it's on my bloody list.
All right.
That's actually up the top of my list.
Cool. All right, so out of all the TV shows coming back, what are you looking forward to the most? Or the new ones?
All the new ones? I am actually looking forward to Preacher the most.
Really?
Yeah, and Inhumans.
Netflix as well?
Yeah. Stadium.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Netflix are their own kettle of fish.
Yeah.
I mean, Stranger Things, you just can't compare anything to it.
Yeah. For me, it would be Defenders.
Yeah.
It'd be the Defenders for me. Heading away from that, I would say Legion because I do really want to see how they do with this. The source material is fantastic.
Yeah.
So if they do it right, it should be good. Noah Hawley's awesome, like I said. So that's that's what I'm looking forward to the most. What's likely to be the biggest disappointment? Powerless from Fear the Walking Dead and Gotham, which, as we know, as we talk about on the show, consistently week in and week out disappointments. I think this will be a bigger disappointment. Dark Horse.
I'm going to say my dark horse will be Fear of the Walking Dead.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, that's interesting. My dark horse, I'm going to say Riverdale.
Don't blame you, mate.
Look, I want to see what happens. Like, I get it. I get the appeal, but we'll see.
We probably won't review the show.
No.
100% won't.
Yeah, it's not one that's going to make the list for sure. We still have to figure out that list because we do have to cull some stuff, let me tell you. And who's going to make the biggest bank? Doesn't really matter.
Who's going to pull the biggest rank?
Yeah, who's
like
going to...
the rankings on TV?
Yeah.
Ooh,
that's a big one.
That's actually quite hard. I think it is going to be The Walking Dead, even though all our shows actually are losing viewers.
Yeah, I know.
So I feel that will be the best.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I will go with Preacher. I think a lot of people now, having seen season 1, are going to come back and they're really looking forward to season 2. We'll see. Let us know what you think. What are you the most excited for in 2017 movie-wise?
And TV show-wise.
Exactly.
And that's going to bring us to Comic of the Week, my favorite segment, brought to you today by Troy.
Hey, that's me. I love it how you always throw that in. That little slight bit of shade. I know it's shade. Don't act like it's not. Look, let's get into Comic of the Week. I wanted to stick with the little sub-theme that we have kind of going on here, which is kind of a celebration of strong female characters. And like today, we've applauded characters like Princess Leia and Alan Ripley, and we've spoken about the anticipation for our first real female-driven superhero movie with Wonder Woman. So today's comic of the week, or series of the week rather, is the all-new Invincible Iron Man, which sees Chicago teen Riri Williams essentially assume the mantle of Iron Man, albeit under the moniker of Ironheart, in the wake of the events of Civil War II, which I'm going to try my best not to spoil. Now, we were first introduced to Riri back in May as a 15-year-old super genius engineering student who built her own Iron Man suit out of metals stolen from MIT and out of a desire to become a superhero of sorts. So after hearing about this, Tony Stark decided he needed to make an introduction and ends up obviously fully endorsing Riri's decision to become a hero. Now, fast forward to present day, Tony Stark is gone, and it's up to teenager Riri Williams to don her armor, head to battle, and follow in the footsteps of the man who would be her mentor. Now, while this comic has copped a bit of flack for replacing Tony Stark with a teenage girl, it's actually a refreshing take on the classic superhero tale, and I, for one, am enjoying it immensely so far. Not only should we be celebrating the fact that we have an African-American female character who now has her own major solo series, we should also be applauding Marvel for having the guts to give it a chance. And Ironheart is a great character. So not only is Riri super smart, funny, and as brave as the rest of them, she's also vulnerable and incredibly unsure of herself, making her all the more relatable. It's only 2 issues in so far, but do yourself a favor and check out this comic if you have a chance. There really is something in it for everyone, even Tony Stark lovers. I give this comic 4 out of 5 little heart emojis, but I did it in a really super manly way. So
like you did it with the heart and then the muscle arm after it?
Yep, the heart and then the muscle arm, then the squirt symbol.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure what that actually, what that means, the squirt symbol. I think it's just water.
Yeah, I think it's shower.
Shower, yeah. Shower water.
Sure.
Showering someone with water.
With love.
Yeah.
Strong love.
Strong love.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's what those 3 emojis put together mean. That is it for another week, isn't it?
I'm all talked out.
Oh, man. I feel like I am on the verge of losing my voice.
You had to go and replenish your water.
Yeah. It's one of those things, like, for those of you who don't really sort of understand how a lot of this works, this is all pretty much done in, the main segments are done in one take. We spoke a shit ton about movies. Oh, my God.
So much.
So just let me take another drink of water here right now. You entertain the people at home while I do this.
Okay.
Refreshing.
Fantastic. Great quality content, as always.
As always. If you want to hear a bunch of guys drink water, come and join us every week. Hey,
at least that's all we're drinking.
Well, that's true. That is true. I had a coffee before, let's be honest.
I had an energy drink.
There you go. Hey, you want to thank some people?
I do. I want to thank the listeners, subscribers, and reviewers. You guys make a huge difference to the show.
You do make a huge difference. The hugest.
It's ridiculous. I jump on there, and I swear we're getting a review a week.
I don't think you guys actually really understand how important you are sometimes.
Yeah.
When it comes to these sorts of things. So thank you. We try to tell you every week, but there's also YouTube, which the link is always in the show notes. So do that.
Jump on there. We've also got a Snapchat. If you want to talk to us, you can talk to us on there.
Go for it.
It has that little chat feature.
It does. So chat away, kids. One of us will be on there, whoever's on there at any given time.
But we won't tell you who.
Yeah, so you'll never know.
You'll have to guess.
Should be easy. One of us is a girl. The other one's
How can you tell who's a girl by chatting, text chat?
Emojis.
Mate, I've seen your text.
Yeah, I do use a lot of emojis.
You use the pink heart so often.
You know what I do use actually probably more than anything else?
The eggplant.
The second to the eggplant. It's always unicorn head emojis.
Your emojis tell a lot about who you are, hey?
So anyway, we also have a website, which is comicconpod.com.
Also had the Patreon. If you want to support the show, jump on there. Get early access to the show when it's done early, which we're actually getting pretty close to being able to do that now.
Sometimes.
Don't
expect it every week.
Well, we are recording a little bit earlier now that Legends of Tomorrow has moved to Tuesdays.
Tuesdays, yes, correct. When it comes back, man, that's going to be, our Fridays are going to be free.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Now, if you want to get yourself some cool merchandise,
yes,
you can jump onto our Redbubble. We've got the links in the show notes. You get yourself some cool everything.
Everything. Literally everything that you could think of.
So many. The stickers are super cheap on there.
Oh, well, speaking of super cheap, all prices have dropped. New Year's special.
May have figured out how to do that.
Yep.
My gosh.
Yeah, so they'll, that's Redbubble, not us. They're trying to stick you for the money.
That's true. They should give you the option straight up.
Yeah, exactly.
Motherfuckers, I don't want to make money off this. I just want people to wear cool shit.
Yeah, exactly. What else is happening? Comic Blitz.
We have a super sweet deal with Comic Blitz.
Yes, we do.
Use the promo code ComicConPod upon sign up and you get the ultimate plan for free.
Ultimate plan.
That is all the comics you can read.
If you're based on the couch like Cade, you can read a lot of comics.
I'm actually putting a pretty sweet groove into the couch because I'm on there all this month just reading every comic.
Go for it.
I have extended the charger to my iPad so it's constantly charging because I am on it that much reading stuff.
Excellent. Well, hopefully, you're getting some of the suggestions from that brilliant section that we have in the show. I believe it's called Comic of the Week.
Never heard of it.
Oh, okay. It's there. You should listen. That's it, man. That's it. We will be back next week, obviously, with another show, as always.
Do we have a segment next week? Who knows?
We will figure something out. Amy will be back next week. That's a thing.
Amy will be back. Oh, before I forget, if you haven't joined the Comic Confidential listener community on Facebook, do that.
Yeah. That's a thing. Jump on that. It's just a whole bunch of people who love the same shit. It's not one of those sites that has a lot of rules either.
There is no rules. Oh, no, there's one rule.
Don't be a prick.
Don't be a prick.
That's like the biggest rule.
There's only allowed to be one prick, and that's me.
Yeah, that's Cade. I'm second prick. Amy's like kind of third, but she's cool. But we're there.
Jump on there. Suggest something for us.
Yeah, look, jump on there. Have some fun. Share some stuff. Get involved in a little community. Man, it's great.
There's nothing but legends in that group.
Legends of tomorrow and today. It's the end of the show, man. Give me a break. Look, thanks for listening. As always, I'm Troy.
And I'm Cade.
And this has been Comic Confidential.
Cheers.
Peace. Oh, my voice.
You're dead.
My voice. My beautiful golden voice. Slightly more golden, actually. It's like a husky, sexy sound.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like sounding very gold, like with a little bit of silver edging, which I find sexy.